BOI's corporate vision for the near future reflects the bank's ambition to spearhead Nigeria's sustainable and inclusive industrial development through tailored offerings designed to support underserved and high-impact business segments. Nowhere is this strategy more evident than in the bank's work around the non-negotiables of economic backbone required to build stronger and better for the future. The sites of the Bank of Industry are trained on this goal with laser focus, and this episode of BOI Impact commences a fresh series about not just this determination, but the nuts and bolts of its strategy.
It's a new episode with a new series of BOI Impact. Hello and welcome. I'm Senam Yamotosho. The Bank of Industry's vision is to transform Nigeria's industrial sector by providing financial and business support services to enterprises. This new series of BOI Impact will spotlight large enterprises driving infrastructure, energy, and the big gears that turn the economy and bring scale and prosperity. Coming up in this episode, a look at impacts across some of the bank's intervention areas, including large, medium, and small enterprises, a new feature on BOI Impact. We'll bring you an interview with the bank's large enterprise executive director, speaking to exactly how and why big businesses matter in the larger scheme of things. And our main feature today is a glowing example of how BOI helps economy take flight. The impact story of a major infrastructure project reshaping regional transport from Asaba. We bring things to a birth with your news wrap on BOI activities and events you'd like to know about, all here on this packed episode of BOI Impact. Let's start with a showcase.
Health is wealth, the saying goes. In Osun, SAMAILA Pharmaceuticals is expanding Nigeria's local drug production with BOI and FGN support.
During my community practice days, I saw that gap. That many a times, some common medications will just become unavailable, even those that are very critical to the survival of babies. And I wondered, why should that be? That is why eventually, from community practice, we transitioned into, local manufacturing production. And I looked at ORS, oral radiation salt, which of course is very essential for the survival of babies. The only two products that were available are either from UNICEF, or WHO, or from another country, Pakistan. And when this becomes dry in circulation, everybody's in crisis. But by and large, to cut long story short, we saw that ORS became a success story. And in fact, the first locally manufactured and registered with NAFDAC happened to be that of SAMAILA Limited.
When we receive the materials, this is where we keep them. We have under test store, we have approved material store. So when we receive first, we don't approve immediately. The lab people, they come around, they check, they conduct their analysis. Then after it has passed, then we can start using. So welcome to the processing room. As you can see, this is blending room. So that's our carbonate blender. So here, we have our blend quarantine. So after we blend the products, we keep them here before we start filling. As you can see, we are filling this product now. From bottle wash to the filling room. But this place makes the process better.
It's not just about tablets, it's about jobs, standards, and keeping the value chains local.
I thank God for BOI. I never even thought we could ever be qualified to patronize them. Because when people tell stories about them, it's like, they are for big players, or they are for people who know who and who. If you don't know somebody, you can't get anything from them. And we saw that we didn't even need to know anybody more than just have a transparent book they can go through, or records of your activities they can go through, and they will give all the supports that you need financially, at least to the point that it will satisfactorily execute your project.
So we have a packaging material store here. We talk about packaging material, primary packaging, secondary packaging. We have them here. We have them here.
Before the coming of BOI into assisting us, we were operating at a lower scale. But with funding, we were able to grow. We were able to do more. In fact, this factory that you see is largely sponsored by BOI.
SAME's Pharmaceuticals is just one example of how bold Nigerians take on large enterprise challenges and how the Bank of Industry backs their guts with key financing and business support. In KATSINA, SME is working. ABSAM Aluminium and Glass is reshaping more than metal. With BOI's help, this youth-led business is meeting construction demand, training apprentices, and making supplies beyond their former capacity.
The most difficulty that we facing was the lack of capital. Aikin da ya kamata a ce za ka iya, sometimes dama kwasoma zai zo ba zai baka, you not pay in full to give you advance. So most of the time inda aikin yake, su engineers yi so suna so su ga wanda ke da capital, in sun baka advance maybe yana engineer about 50% ko 70%. Abinda yake so ka yi da aikin, put your own capital to finish the job so that after he balance you. To in baka da capital dama you must have difficulties. To wannan challenges da difficulties ya sa dole muka approaching Bank of Industry, suka zo suka assessing mu har dai muka ga mun samu abun nan.
Gaskiya ba zan ba iya ƙididdige irin ci gaba da na samu a rayuwata ba. In na tsayin ringa bayyana abubuwan ci gaban da na samu ga sana'an nan, to gaskiya ba zan iya ƙididdige su ba. Saboda da farko ina zuwa nan shagon bani da ma abin hawa. To dalilin wannan sana'a ita kuma na samu abin hawa, na sai sabon ma abin hawa na sai sabo dan da kuɗin kuma wannan sana'a na sai sabo, sannan kuma na gina gida duk da wannan sana'a. In riga na sa haka da wannan sana'a ta sa. Kuma ina taimakon wasu har da ɗauki iyayena ko wasu abokaina, ko yanzu cikin abokaina na sha bamban, saboda da dama akwai abokaina da na kere musu saboda irin sana'ar da nake. Gaskiya ta na samu ci gaba da sana'ar nan kwarai da gaskiya, alhamdulillah.
Gaskiya ya taimaka mana sosai because yanzu aikin da za mu yi cikin kwana 10 saboda ko sati biyu because of lack of capital, ko yanzu kuma muna da enough capital, muna da material, muna yin cikin 1 week or less than 1 week myself. So ya taimaka, kuma yanzu we have more customers because sun sani muna da capacity da in zai ba da aiki za a ida mashi aiki ya mashi zan ya biya mu. So ya taimaka mun ƙara samun customers, kuma muna gama aiki within lokacin da ya kamata.
ABSAM started with courage, and now BOI is helping them punch above their weight class and thereby catalyzing local economy. RAPID stands for Rural Area Program on Investment for Development. This BOI intervention is styled to help rural and economically underserved communities take advantage of local resources to build enterprise and boost their economy. It creates local jobs and improves living standards. In EBONYI, Rapid beneficiary IKECHUKWU saw more than just livestock. He saw a cycle. With rapid support, not only has he scaled his piggery, even their waste has spawned a new business, powering crop farming, closing loops, and creating food security.
In piggery farming, everything is important. So post-rapid, I discovered that I can utilize the manure or the dung from my pig for crop production. So in view to that, we decided to go into yam farming, which you can see in my front and that we choose to bring in a hybrid plantain. Though we had plantain before, but it's not hybrid. We bring in more hybrid plantains and bananas, which we also use our manure as a fertilizer to boost the production. Through this rapid program, I was able to create more employment. Like before now, I used to have just one staff working here, but currently I have staff already. 3 in the morning, 2 in the evening. I have workers that work in the morning. When they come, they feed, they go. In the evening, others will come in the evening. We do the follow-up or the round-up of this activity. Understand? So doing now, I've given 5 people employment already in the community. Thereby, let's say, lifting them out of poverty.
Nano enterprise can go unnoticed in many spheres, but not in BOIs. The bank understands that the cumulative effect of millions of tiny enterprises all over Nigeria is critical on several levels. That's why the federal government's 50 billion naira small grant scheme is essential to the Bank of Industry's overall strategy. Meet Naomi Caleb, bag maker, leather artisan, and Presidential Conditional Grant Scheme beneficiary.
When I heard about the grant, first I was seriously happy. I was so happy.
Why? Because I just saw the grant advert online. I decided to give it a try.
We sat down together, went online through the link. We applied and answered all the questions because he's the designer of my business. The bags, most of the bags I make, he designed them, bring them to me, then I sew them myself.
By the help of the grant, she do more than 100 bags in a month. She produced more.
So therefore, the customers are coming.
And I pray that the good work that you people have started, people will continue doing it and the Lord will bless you all.
BOI is championing the cause of small businesses, and the Presidential Conditional Grant Scheme is proof that sometimes a small push creates a wide ripple.
BOI has 3 main directorates. Large enterprises is one of them. So we have the MSME and we have the public sector. What large enterprise does really is the big tickets. So BOI is really all about impact. We expect jobs are created. We expect a lot of foreign exchange savings. And we also expect that lives are touched. So we give facilities to companies that require like 2 billion and above, while the MSME would do less than 2 billion or 2 billion. But what really happens is that, so we like to see companies we're supporting that they're export ready. We like to see that they can actually find ways of utilizing raw materials that are locally available. We like to, part of what makes us happy is job creation, not just any type of job, but jobs that are actually sustainable. We don't just look at the number of people that company employs. I'll use a typical example. I once visited a company that is located somewhere between Rivers State and Imo State. Okay, and when I got to that company, they were just setting up at that time. We had just funded them and they were setting up. When I got to that company, I noticed one thing. It's a big company, it's a steel company, so there were trailers. So there was like a trailer park. And I noticed that at that trailer park, you had the Mama Ifi food place, you had the vulcanizers, you had the petty traders around. All these are the things we call the job creation, because these are indirect jobs that have been created because that company is located in, and this is a village. It's a village that you wouldn't expect. And what the impact eventually is that a lot of other jobs are created. And you look at this vulcanizer who is there, he probably would be able to send money to his parents. So I love the impact of the indirect jobs, And then you also look at, when you look at import substitution and all of that, there's nothing as good as when you work into a place like what we're trying to do with the pharmaceutical industries now. We want a situation where a lot of these drugs that are imported are actually made in Nigeria. We also upgraded an airport, and what in the southeast, what has that done? Connectivity for both goods, people, and when there's connectivity, what happens? Trade thrives, tourism thrives, people live better. I would say I also benefited from that airport because, yes, I'm from the southeast, and I can now fly comfortably and drive. I get to my village in 30 minutes. So yes, BOI is doing a lot in this space. We're doing it one step at a time. Once we identify that need, we target it and we address it. In our 2025 to 2027 strategic initiative, one of the things we've said is that we must do 30% in infrastructure. We're not taking it lightly. To ensure we achieve that, that's why we created the infrastructure division in large enterprise. We created it to align with the 2025-2027 strategic initiative, and we're already gaining traction in that space.
Airports aren't just tarmacs. They're engines of trade, tourism, and growth. In Asaba, Delta State, a major airport upgrade has been underway, and BOI financing is fueling the work.
Asaba Airport can be turned into a major hub for the South and Southeast in the region. Bidders were invited and they did the evaluation. After the evaluation, our company was eventually picked as the preferred bidder. That was how we started. Part of our responsibility was to improve the infrastructure and improve the airport, develop the airport, and make it electropolis. Make it an airport city to generate revenue and to make traveling easy for the indigenes of Delta State. So when we now came in, we now found out that a lot of the equipment were already obsolete. The moment it was announced that it has been concessioned to the private sector, the NCAA wheeled out the big stick that everything must be done according to the rules and regulation.
When we came, we obviously saw there was a lot of potential. Otherwise, we wouldn't have gone for the concession. But there was a lot of things that needed to be done.
So it was at that point we now found out that we have serious challenges in our hand. So we ran to BOI for assistance. So that helped us to change all our machines, all the security machines, all the dictators' machine. We have to change all of them to the recent, because in aviation, technology changes every day.
So we have the two tractors, 1 and 2, which we use in maintaining the grasses around the runway and the car park. So we also have the fire tenders. Then the Kronenberg 1, this one is Kronenberg 2, Ziegler 1 and Ziegler 2. And there's a water tanker behind.
In the first 6 months, some of the things that we noticed was the electrical supply to the airport. They've just introduced the IPP, connected the airport to it, but because of the power cables, the underground cables, it was not, whenever it rained, it dropped off.
So we have a 500 kVA generator and 1000 kVA generator. This is our standby generator in the event of power outage.
We have replaced basically all the lights in the terminal with LED, whereas before it was not. There was no LED in any of the places. We have introduced solar for the navigational aids so that we don't have to spend so much on diesel, but also to ensure that there's constant power supply. Even the runway lights. if the power went off previously, say for instance the aircraft is just about to land and the power went off, it would have to abort the landing because the lights weren't working. We have now installed solar batteries, not panels, so it's charged when there's power.
As we speak today, Asaba is the only airport in the whole of the southeast and south-south that has landing aids that you can land in the night.
I'm proud of what we've achieved here in the 4.5 years that I've been here. And that is not possible without Bank of Industry and also the team of people that we have on ground there.
So I started flying this airport in 2018, against year 2018. And there's been a very great improvement, if I must say. It's always clean. Mostly when you want to use the restroom, it's clean. Both the planes are always clean. Everywhere is clean.
My environmental understanding of the area is good, calm, security, okay. All the checked in, everything I have experienced. I think I will recommend anybody any day for Asaba Airport.
So it's my second time at Asaba Airport, and so far everything has been fine. So I think it's calm and convenient place to be.
It's not the small happiness, so I'm not gonna lie you, my brother. See now, you can see everywhere is very neat. They clear, they take care of us. Lights everywhere, street light, they know they take lights. Customer too much.
This is industrialization in real time, and it's flying on BOI's wings. In Benin City, Edo State, Akmeh Packaging Nigeria Limited is demonstrating what happens when manufacturing meets the right kind of support. As beneficiaries of the FGN fund powered by the Bank of Industry, this company has benefited from the intervention by expanding its production capacity. It has created jobs and strengthened Nigeria's packaging sector.
Akmeh Packaging Nigeria Limited is a wholly indigenous company and is the biggest east of the Niger. Precisely, production started in 2011. And what we have here is a complete packaging line, which does probably about 500 metric tons every month. That 500 metric tons translated to cartons is about 5,000 tons. That's roughly about 250,000 cartons per month. Our initial takeoff was wholly paid by individual. But along the line, we started having assistance from BOI. So far, we've installed a second line now, which came complete with a complete line, a 6-color printing machine, and a fully automatic gluer. Yeah, so for us to be able to meet up the market.
On hand to witness the progress were officials of the Bank of Industry, alongside the Edo and Delta chairman of Manufacturers Association of Nigeria. Their presence underscored the joint commitment of government, industry, and finance in driving industrial growth.
Kudos to BOI and the federal government for the collaboration. We just hope that this will be seamless to other manufacturers. You mentioned about your 250,000 cartons per month.
Yeah.
Was this before the BOI?
Yeah.
Or after?
Though we had one facility from BOI before this particular one now.
Okay.
That one was mainly for material. Okay, so it came handy for material.
It's the second time?
Yeah, the second time we had an from BOI. Yes.
Okay, so far, how were you able to access this facility? Was it seamless? Was it easy? Or were there some bureaucracy?
Initially, it was tough. Okay. Initially, it wasn't easy, but recently, it's becoming a bit easier for us to access the facility. Okay. At least with our current experience, yes.
Okay. Yes. So, special thanks to the BOI team for making it flexible for manufacturers to access this loan. The growth of a state or the growth of the country is the growth of manufacturers, and vice versa.
From small shifts in capacity to large strides in industry, Akmeh Packaging is proof that with the right financing, Nigeria's manufacturing sector can thrive. This has been your BOI Impact News Wrap.
In our new Impacts program format today, we've seen the power of enterprise at every level, from a small car wash to a state airport project. At BOI, the mission is simple: Transform Nigeria's industrial sector by supporting businesses of all sizes. To learn about BOI's interventions and see what we can do together, no matter the size of your business, visit www.boi.ng. Follow us on all our socials or call 0700 call BOI and we'll be waiting. Stay with us weekly as we spotlight the bold ideas and determined people shaping tomorrow's economy now. And remember, each time you buy Nigerian, you're helping to build Nigeria. I'm Senam Yomotosha. Thank you for watching BOI Impact.